Hey, what's going on, everyone? Welcome to Exploit Security. As always, I'm your host, Scott, and today we are going to be jumping into OverTheWire Natas. So we're going to be picking up where we left off last week. So today we're going to be starting with Natas 8. So full disclosure, like I always do in all of my videos, before we get started, I do want to identify that these are going to be solution-based videos. So if you haven't been able to find the solution, or if you haven't tried to find the solution on your own, strongly encourage that you just give it a shot. That's where you're going to get most of your learning value from. With that being said, if you're absolutely stuck, you need a little bit of help, or maybe you've already solved the challenge and you just kind of want to get some additional insight just so you can grow and learn a little bit more, you are in the right place. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into it. So similar to kind of the pattern that the last couple challenges have been doing, we can see that we have an input secret here. Just for shits and giggles, we're just going to type in just test, and then we can just go ahead and submit that query, and we get that wrong secret. You can also see down in the bottom right corner, we have that view source code. So we're just going to click that and just open up in a new tab. And right off the bat, we can see that there is some what appears to be PHP code being ran. You can see there's a variable called encoded secret. You can see that there is a function that looks like it probably encodes the secret. You can see that it is submitted with a post request. The secret that you enter is then compared to the encoded secret. Cool. So what it looks like is whenever we type in a secret, it is then encoded using this function. That function compares that encoded secret versus the one that they have on record. So this is just as simple as just being able to just reverse that encoding. And the great thing is, since the function is listed in there, we can see that we have the formula to kind of reverse that. So we can see they take the secret, they encode it using base 64, and then it looks like they're doing a string reverse, so they're just flipping the base 64 in the opposite direction, and then it looks like they are finalizing it by encoding it with hex. So for clarification, both base 64 and hex are encoding, not encryption. The difference is it's just going to have a different compatibility or different format, whereas with encryption, it is going to transform that into an unreadable format that will typically require the correct key to decrypt. So very subtle differences, especially when it comes to more of the base level encryption, but just want to make sure we identify the two of those. So another tool I want to show you, there's definitely tons of ways you can do this on a CLI or command line interface. You can put together a bash script, you can just run it online. You can use Python for it as well. You can use almost every programming language out there to do it. But one thing I want to introduce to everyone, which just kind of makes things a lot easier as far as workflow goes, is CyberChef. So if you have never heard of CyberChef, you can just Google it. Link is right here. I'll try to include that in the description as well. So we're just going to take that encoded secret, and we are going to paste it in. Now, remember, we're working in reverse. So what they did was base 64, string reverse, and then hex. So since we are removing that encoding or decoding, we are going to start off with hex. So you have a whole bunch of options down here. Definitely explore it. But for the purpose of this, we're going to do from hex. Right off the bat, we can see that we have a base 64 value, I'm guessing, just by those equal signs at the end. So let's see if we can do a reverse, because as you can see, it's backwards. So we can just type in the search bar reverse. We'll just drop that there. Now we have that base 64 in the correct format. And then from there, we can just search for base 64. And we want to do from base 64, go ahead and drop that in there. And there we go. It looks like what we have is the credential or that secret. I'm just going to go ahead and copy that. We'll jump back over to the initial page, which is Natas 8. Just paste that right in there, and then we'll hit that submit query. right off the bat, we get what appears to be the password for Natas level 9. So let's just keep going. We got a 5-minute video already, so let's kind of keep pushing through. So we're going to go ahead and copy that value. We'll jump up to that URL. We'll remove that 8, replace it with a 9. Same thing, the username is going to be Natas9, and we will paste in that password. And there we go. We are brought to Natas level 9. On the page, you can see find words containing. It's giving us a search. We can also see we have that view source code. Again, you can do a couple different things, but let's just go ahead and type in a word and see what happens. And then it is, from what I'm guessing, it's probably filtering through something and finding any words that have apple in it. So a very basic one, you can see we get like pineapple, grapples, grapple, grappled. So very basic search feature. So let's also just go ahead and close that previous tab out, right click, and let's expand that. And you can see right off the bat, we have some PHP again. And it looks like it is looking for needle in the request plus honoring the request itself.